Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, my name is Brittany and I talk all things beauty here on my channel, and if you are new, please subscribe. I would appreciate it so much, and to those of you who are subscribed to me, thank you. You are the best. In today's video, I will be doing a 3 looks 1 palette on the new Fairytale Fairies palette by Simply Posh Cosmetics. This is an independently owned brand, an indie brand, and guys, it's a good one, spoiler. But if you want to see 3 looks with this palette, hear my thoughts, and see my overall review on this gorgeous palette, then please stick around and keep watching. Okay, so for this look, I'm really wanting to play with kind of like this row and this row. I don't know, I'm just excited. I really don't have like an idea in mind, so let's just hope for the best. I have found that if you go in with the lighter shade first, it helps it blend better versus just going in with a dark, deep matte, because they are so pigmented. So first, I'm going to go in with Dreamy and mix it with Pixie. Just kind of go back and forth with those two. You do get a lot of kick up with those, just wanted to note that. And as far as like base goes, all I did was prime my lids with my foundation. Nothing fancy, just kind of like what I always do. So as you can see, it's super light, so I'm going to keep building that up, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. These are layering very well on top of each other. Just wanted to note that as you can see, you can definitely get it very pigmented. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of Whimsical and put that kind of like on the inner part, because I think that's such a beautiful color. This palette, man, I'm telling you, this is like a fairy tale dream palette. I love it so much. And like these tones, they are so unique to my collection. Like if you see it in the pan, you're like, yeah, it's just, you know, like a pastel colorful palette. But I'm telling you, once you get them on your eyes, they are very special. I definitely could not dupe this out by any means in my collection. Okay, so now that is like, woo, nice, bold, and vibrant, I want to go in with the darker tones. So I want to go in with just a little bit of Magic, and I want to go in with a Mystical. Just kind of bounce back between those two and see what color we get. So I'm trying to go in very lightly, because these are very pigmented. I have found out that you need to start off with a little and work your way up, because if you just go in with a ton, it can get a little patchy. But as long as you go in with a little bit, I think you would really like the results that you get. I want to go in with Evergreen right here and just put a little bit of that mixed in with the blue just to get it a little bit deeper for me. Now I'm going to swap brushes and get a clean brush and go back in with the shade Whimsical and Pixie, and just kind of go with like in between those two and just kind of pop it on the inner part and help blend that out just a little bit more. And then it will be time to go in with the shimmer. And I'm so excited because my husband, he was getting his hair cut, and he goes to Sports Clips, and there's an Ulta Beauty right beside it. So you know what that means for me. I went inside Ulta and I picked up the NYX, let's see, glitter primer, and I'm so excited because it's everybody's holy grail for as far as like shimmers and glitters go for like the base, and I've never tried it. I'm so excited. So definitely, like, I'm really excited to give that a go. Okay, it is time to go in with the glitter glue. I'm excited. I don't know what to expect. Like, is this going to be life-changing? I cannot wait. So I'm just going to put it on both sides and blend it out. The shimmer that I want to use today, it's Fairy Dust. I might mix this one in with it, but for like first, I want to go in with Fairy Dust. This is my favorite shimmer in the palette. It's like green, it's blue. There's just so many different colors to it. There's a little bit of yellow. It's a very unique shade. Okay, here we go. Wow. Zero fallout. Okay, guys. I think I see what the hype is all about. Wow, that stuff is so good. Why have I not tried this sooner? I always forget to buy it. Ooh, I'm loving it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. And I don't feel like it's tacky or anything. I don't think this is going to crease like no. Ooh, I really like it. Sometimes with primers, like if they're super thick, they'll kind of crease on me. But this one does not. how exciting. Okay, I definitely see what all the hype's about. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of ethereal, just to put that kind of like where the blue meets the shimmer. This is another beautiful one. It's like a blue, purple, see a little bit of pink and green. It's stunning. I'm just going to put that in between the matte and the shimmer. Do the same thing over here. And then it will be time to do the lower lash line. On the lower lash line, I want to go in with a whimsical and put that kind of like on the inner part. And then put those darker blues on the outer corner. And I don't remember if I mentioned, but this is not a first impressions. I have definitely played with this palette before doing this look, and every time I use it I feel like I need a different inner corner shade. There's not like a good one for me. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Evergreen and mix it with Mystical to put that on the outer part. And keep in mind, these are very, very pigmented, so just go in with a little and then work your way up to what you need. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, and then we'll figure out what shade to put on the inner corner. For the inner corner, I kind of want to go in with my new Michaela and Glamlight highlighting palette. I'm wearing the blue and green highlighter today, and I kind of want to see what this would look like as an inner corner. Whenever I use this palette, typically I will go in with one of these two for the inner corner, but I kind of want to go in with the highlighting palette and see. So I'm just going to mix the blue with the green, and that's what it looks like. I do have a review up on my channel if you're curious on the Michaela and Glamlight collection, but I'm just going to mix the two and put that on the inner corner. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. I also want to go with just a little bit of sparkles, because like let's say you don't have that palette and you want to have like an inner corner. I'll just kind of top that on, because I really do adore this one as a inner corner highlight if I'm using the blues and the greens in this palette. But that is what it would look like if you use that for an inner corner. So now I'm going to do some mascara, eyeliner, all that good stuff, and I'll be back to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. All I did was add some liner, lashes, mascara. I topped a little bit more of this blue and green highlighter on, and this is the finished look. Okay, so for the second look, I was thinking let's go for some greens because they look absolutely beautiful. I'm just going to go in with the lightest one first, but before that, I kind of want to add some gloss. I'm loving my Jaclyn Cosmetics lip oil in the shade Violet Drip. It's my go-to. I literally wear it every single day. But let's just jump into this look. And I'm taking that lime green shade and putting that all through the crease. And I absolutely love this. Like, normally I'm intimidated by like lime green shades, but these are like some pastel tones to it, and it really makes me feel more confident and not as vibrant. Okay, now it is time to go in with a darker one. I want to go in with this shade right here and just kind of start putting that in the outer part. This shade can be very pigmented, so, you know, like I've said, just go in with a little and then kind of work your way up. Like, do you see how pigmented these shades are? Let me zoom you in just a little bit more. Hello, is that better? Were you yelling at me the whole time? Zoom in. Now I'm going to go in with this shade Evergreen right here and deepen it up even more than what we have going on. And I have done another look with the greens and I've mixed them in with the purples, and it turned out really pretty. So just keep that in mind. Like, you don't have to do like monochromatic looks. You can just play all over. I love doing that. I'm going back in with that lime green to help the shade Evergreen kind of blend out a little bit easier. Now I'm just reaching into my NYX glitter primer, and I'm going to put that on my lids for a base so we can put those shimmers on top. Now I'm going to go in with the shade of Fairy Dust and put that on my lid. Oh, how pretty is that? The shade is seriously gorgeous. If you mix it with the blues, it will make it look more blue. And if you mix it with the greens, obviously it will pull more green. but this is just such a unique shade in my opinion. For the inner corner, I want to go in with the shade Mythical and put that in for a fun pop. I will say that these two shimmers are not near as textured as the rest. They are definitely more sheer. I wish they had a little bit more pigment. I mean, they're still very pigmented, but they just don't really compare to how pigmented how the greens are. Those you get like lots and lots of pigment whenever you dig into those. I'm just going to continue to put that shade all along the lower lash line and add just a little bit more green underneath that as well, just so kind of mix that shade with that lime green. If you have any looks that you have in mind for me to create, just leave in the comments. That way I can recreate a look maybe in my reels on Instagram or on TikTok. Just let me know if you have like a certain color in this palette that you want me to use or pair with, and also do that for you. But now for the inner corner, I want to go in with Sparkles, which is that super bold lime green, and just put a little bit on top of what we got going on. Just a touch. I mean, I'm telling you, the whole right side of this palette is so pigmented. It's just gorgeous. I'm taking Mythical and putting that on top of the green to kind of give it a multi-chrome look. With the shade Fantasy, and I'm just going to connect that with the green ever so slightly so they can blend into one another. Okay, so now I want to add a glowy blush on, and I'm going to go in with Sienna Luster from Odin's Eye Cosmetics. This was part of the Soul Mane 2 collection, and I'm just going to get this on my face. This is one of my favorite blushes in my entire collection. It's beautiful. It just looks glowy and peachy. It's seriously like my perfect blush. I adore it. And then I figured we could use the Glamlight and Michaela highlighter, maybe the green one. That's just kind of like what my thoughts are. Yes, I think that is exactly what this look needed. Now, let's pop into my palette. It's back here. I have like makeup everywhere because I have so many things coming in and out. So yeah, excuse me where I'm like, where is everything? So let me get my highlighting brush. Okay, and now I'm going to pop into my Glamlight and Michaela highlighting palette and use the green to kind of, you know, match the eyes. And let's see. I'm so excited to see how this looks on top of the peach. Oh, yes, yes, yes. How fun! I'm loving this palette. Like, I didn't think I would use it all the time. But even like, let's say I'm going to Target, which I went to Target today, and I used this. I just did a little bit with a blue look, and I think it looked so cute, and it didn't like look too crazy, but oh honey, you can get it crazy. But anyways, I'm gonna finish some of my makeup off camera and I'll be back to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look for look number 2. I hope you like it. I definitely played with liner today. Normally I do not take my liner this dramatic, but I just kind of wanted to have fun with it. But please let me know if you like it. Let me zoom you in so you can kind of see like up close. Don't look too far because it's probably a little messy. But yeah, this is the look that I came up with. So I'm going to wash this off and then we'll be back to do the final look. It is time to start the third look. If I have glitter all over me, it is because I have filmed lots of videos today. I have done lots of different looks, and there's only so much glitter I can get off. Like, it doesn't want to leave my face. So we are going to jump into the third look today, and I am going to first pop into this pink right here. And I'm going to mix that with this purple Storybook and just kind of go back and forth, tap off all the extra, and just start working that in for more of like a muted pink, if you will. And just keep in mind, you do get a little bit of kick up, so definitely make sure you tap off the excess so you don't have pigment all over your face. And that blended out super fast. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye, and I was thinking, let me know if you want to see me do some more looks with the Glamlight and Michaela Tin Pan palette. Do you want to see like longer tutorials over here? Do you want to see quick looks on my Instagram? Just let me know if you want to see anything extra with that. Now I'm going to pop into Once Upon a Time and pop into this purple and just kind of mix the two together and see what we get. Okay, I think that is such a pretty color. The first time I used it, I didn't have the best luck with this red, but hopefully it will blend out today, because the first time I used this palette, I was not using the correct base. I was using a concealer that I really didn't even like anymore, but I have been using this with my tried and true base. I'm going back in with those two lighter pinks and just kind of helping those two blend easier. And now it is time for me to put some glitter base on, and then we are going to jump into those beautiful shimmers. First, I'm going in with the shade Mythical right here, and I'm going to layer that on first. And I really adored this shade. I just love how gorgeous it looks whenever you get it on the lid. And now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Let me know, have you picked up this palette? Have you tried anything from the brand? I think this is such a beautiful palette, and I cannot stop reaching for it. I have created so many looks with this palette. It's so pretty. And I've also mixed it with just like an everyday palette and just popped into it for a fun shimmer, so I can get more of like a subtle look, if you will, versus just going in with all the color. Now I'm wanting to put the shade Enchanted on it and just kind of layer that on top. Out of all the shades in the palette, this is kind of one that's kind of lackluster. It's still beautiful, but it's not as pigmented, as textured, as glittery as the others, but it's still beautiful. Like, as you can see, like, it packs a punch. It's just not as textured, which some people may love that, how it's not as chunky. It's just very thin formula, but it's still beautiful. So on the lower lash line, I'm going to mix these two together, and then I'm going to put those two on the outer part, just to kind of like mimic exactly what we did on the top. On the lower lash line, I'm going to pop into this one just to add a little bit of sparkles and put the other shade, and just kind of run it on the inner part just to help brighten it up. And I'm also taking that in the inner corner. I'm going to pop into my Michaela highlighter palette and go in with this brown, green, antique gold and just do a little bit. And I just wanted to apply it with you because I think this palette is so unique, and I wanted to show you how beautiful it is with literally every look I've created. I've gone into this palette, but definitely don't get it if you don't like a blending highlight. But anyways, guys, this is the finished look for look number 3. I do hope that you enjoyed this look. You'll have to let me know which is your favorite look, but I'm going to zoom you out, do some swatches, and then give you my final review on this palette. Okay guys, so here are all of the beautiful swatches. I ran out of room. I had to swatch this one on my hand, but I adore these so much. Anyways, I just wanted to show you these swatches. So it is time for me to give you my review over this palette. So I adore the packaging, and also whenever I got the package in the mail, it came in a nice beautiful box covered in roses, and on the inside it was bubble wrapped. It just, like, you could tell it was like a lot of care went into this and the design. I've been waiting for this to launch for so long. All the teasers, I was so excited, and I cannot say like enough good things about this palette. I love the color story, and as you saw by the swatches and the looks I created, it's not just another colorful palette. These shades are very unique to my collection, and I adore how you have a light row, shimmer row, and then a really dark, deep row. And every single shade in this palette is very good. Whenever you are working with these shadows, I have found out that they blend the best when you start off with one of the lighter ones, then you build it up to with a deeper tone down here, and then you put a shimmer on top. That's the way that I have found that this palette works the best. I adore this formula. Do I recommend it? Yes. I love the shimmers. They are very textured. I will say that these two over here are not as pigmented and textured as these, but they are still beautiful, and you just have to layer on a little bit more and you can still get that like opacity that the others have. But yeah guys, that's my review over this palette. You need to try this brand. Have you tried other palettes from them? This is my first, but definitely not my last. Like they're definitely on my radar now because this quality it blew my mind. I was so excited, and when I finally got it in, I opened it, I was like, oh my word, I'm living like my fairy fantasy. But anyways guys, that is my review over this beautiful Fairytale Fairies palette. Please let me know if you are going to pick this up. I definitely recommend you try out some indie brands. Do not limit yourself to the mainstream brands, because I have found that independently owned businesses, they create bomb formulas for a more affordable price point, and you can just tell that they always handle their package with care and love. Even on this box it said like fragile, so I don't know, I had a 10 out of 10 experience with this palette, so definitely recommend. But that's gonna do it for me. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you're healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye guys.